Alright guys, on this occasion we're headed out here on Revontuli Coast to continue a search for all the rares we still haven't gotten, as well as for all the diamonds we're yet to get with the recurve. If you've been watching the last videos, you'll recall that we're only 5 species away from having all the diamonds in the game with the recurve bow, and actually on this server we may have the chance to get one of those remaining species, because here we have the track of a max estimate rock ptarmigan. You know, the rock ptarmigan is undoubtedly one of the hardest species to get with any kind of bow, and especially with the recurve, because they must be shot in the air. So of course if he's a max level and we wanna shot him with the recurve, we'll have to hit him while he's flying, which evidently will increase the challenge exponentially, but luckily it wouldn't be the first time I managed to pull that kind of shot, because I've actually done it on several occasions in the past, especially against quail and willow ptarmigans, and even recently against flying capercaillies and black grouse. I mean, we're definitely not new to this kind of crazy shots, so if this guy's level 3, we're definitely gonna attempt to hit him using that bow. Although I gotta say that regardless of how much we have practiced previously, there's no guarantee that we'll hit him in the first attempt, since that kind of shots are always gonna be really hard. As you can see, there's a level 2 capercaillie there, which may have a certain chance to be a diamond. Now he's flying this way. And he's down. I've never managed to find a diamond capercaillie below max level, and it won't be this time neither, because this guy is a 4.21. So let's continue and let's hope the rock ptarmigan we're chasing is actually diamond. Oh. Up to 730, level 2, that's the one. I wouldn't call it a potential diamond, since the chance of it making it is relatively low, but I have to say that 730 is a decent estimate for a level 2. You know, I don't recall seeing another rock ptarmigan with such a high top estimate recently, so I would say that's a reason to be optimistic about this guy. Let's see. 670.51. Unfortunately, he's just another sad max estimate, because he ended up scoring at the bottom of the estimate. He actually has the bicolor plumage variation, which in my opinion is the best looking common variation for the rock ptarmigan, even better than the bicolor for the willow ptarmigan, and honestly I would love to get a diamond with this plumage, since it looks amazing and all my diamonds have been moltings. Now let's continue and let's do our best to stumble across a diamond or a rare. Alright guys, we're still on the same session, and on this occasion we have the track of what could be a diamond capercaillie. I actually just spotted him flying over there. He's a level 3, so he's a potential diamond, and I found him right on this area, which is a place that I visit very often, since it's a spot that is quite good to find zones for all the multiple upland species that you can find here on Revontuli Coast. It is definitely one of my preferred locations to hunt things like capercaillies, black grouse, hazel grouse, rock ptarmigans, mountain hares, so if you're looking for any of these species, I really recommend you to visit this area more often. Alright. Level 2, that's not him, although he's aggressive. Oh. And that one is the level 3. Right in front of us. He's flying this way, let's see. He is down. Level 3 capercaillie down. And now we have a bunch of rock ptarmigans flying over here. I couldn't spot that one, but at least we drop him, although there were another 2. Now this one is a level 2 male, a level 2 female, and that one, well, I couldn't spot it, but he's down, so we're gonna check him out just after I harvest this level 3 capercaillie, which may be the first diamond of the hunt. 4.67, he's a diamond. Certainly one of the most common trophies on Revontuli Coast, so it's not really that special, but it's always great to find one of these because they look amazing. On this case, we had to chase this guy for 1.7 kilometers, which is not too bad considering that capercaillies are not exactly easy to track, so we can say that we found this guy relatively quickly. Now let's continue. Alright guys, we continue exploring the same session where we got the diamond capercaillie, and this time we have the track of a potential level 9 raccoon dog. This is a very intriguing track because the raccoon dog is one of the rarest diamonds on Revontuli Coast and also one of the diamonds we are yet to get with the recurve. So honestly, I really want this guy to be legendary, and if he's in fact a max level, we ought to do our best to get him using that bow regardless of how difficult the situation may look, because the raccoon dogs are quite tough to hunt with any kind of bow. They are really skittish, and getting one with the recurve will probably require a good amount of patience, but first we gotta see if it is actually a level 9. Now, some of you have been asking me what happened to our quest for the melanistic pheasant for the melanistic rooster, because in the last 10 videos or so we haven't really visited any of the maps where they are located, and you may be thinking that we simply gave up due to not being able to find one in the last few months, but the real reason is simply because I decided to pause the search and take a breath of fresh air here on Revontuli Coast after several unsuccessful hunts. So be sure that I'll be back in the search for one of those elusive melanistics in the near future, and even sooner if you guys would rather see me hunting for one instead of watching these Revontuli Coast videos. I mean, if you guys let me know down in the comments that you would prefer to see me hunting pheasants over hunting this map, then I'll gladly take that into consideration and I'll be back hunting for that melanistic really soon. Alright, there he is. Well, actually there are two, so we're gonna spot that one first. It's a female, which means that this one should be either a level 7, level 8 or a level 9. Let's see. It's a mythical. As it's been happening a lot in the last few months, all the max estimate predators we've been finding have been either level 7s or mythicals, and this guy is no exception. Of course, being this guy level 8, he doesn't have any chance to be a diamond, but still could be massive. Let's see. 8.62, he's a medium-sized mythical, he's not too big, so now let's continue, let's try to find a bigger one. Another level 3 Capercaillie. He may be the second diamond of the hunt, this time on this location, which is an area that is quite neglected by a lot of people, especially when it comes to upland bear hunting. I mean, it's really good to hunt Capercaillies, rock ptarmigans, hazel grouse and black grouse. So I definitely try to check it on as many servers as possible, and what I'm trying to do here is to get this guy to go aggressive. I would like him to attack me so we can get him using the recurve. And now he's aggressive, although I'm not sure if he's aggressive towards that lynx or towards me, because they can also attack the lynxes. But apparently he's aggressive towards us, which is exactly what we wanted, so we're gonna get ready. And now let's destroy this guy, it will be a piece of cake. Honestly I would love to get him out of the air, but we already have one with the recurve also out of the air, so it's not necessary this time. Now let's see how big it is, perhaps the second diamond of the hunt. You know, as I said before, the Capercaillies may not be the rarest trophies, but it's always nice to get a big one since they look amazing. In my opinion, one of the best looking birds in the entire game. And this guy is a 4.66 diamond, barely a diamond. He's actually almost the same size as the last one, he's not a huge diamond, but what matters is that he made it. What are the odds? A molting mountain hare. My first ever rare mountain hare. Finding one of these is one of the reasons I keep visiting Revontuli Coast, because they simply look amazing. You know, this species has 3 different fur types, being this the albino, the molting and the white. And frankly, it was starting to look nearly impossible to find one, since the mountain hares are really scarce, there are not too many across the map. So having the chance to get at least one of those rare variants is simply fantastic. Now this guy will probably start fleeing, but the thing with the hares is that they are currently really bugged. I mean, once they spook, they only run a few meters and then for some reason they start walking, making it incredibly easy to approach them, as you can see here. So there's honestly no sport in hunting hares at the moment. I think it's unfair and I really hope this bug gets fixed at some point. Of course, I'm not gonna waste this golden opportunity just because they are bugged. So now let's harvest this beautiful molting mountain hare. He's a 3.43 silver, which is not too big, but in this case the score is completely irrelevant because the thing that matters is that we finally have our first ever rare of the species.